Okay, Mandy had a way of typing them out, of labeling them.
Well,
She
not sure if it matters now since we're
okay.
live and we do have people coming over, and it is titled properly since it says Semifinals Analysis Show with Arya and Fit. Not sure if it matters now since we're live and we do have. And I'm just gonna wait till anybody feels like showing up.
All right.
Um, and I just tweeted on all my stuff to see if anybody wants to come on by. And we do have some viewers stopping by already. So what's up, everybody? This is Fit. If you're just now showing up, we hope you had a nice Sunday. And not sure really what time it is where you are since we're on a world server, but here in America, it's getting towards nighttime. Me and Arya did have the rest of the day to spend with our families. I'm joined here by Arya tonight, right now, and we're going to be just going over a brief analysis of what the semifinals showed me and Arya, what we think the finals is going to look like, and how did we get here and where are we going.
All right, thanks, Fit. So we're going to start again with tomorrow. There was a lot of great games this weekend. I mean, all weekend long, nonstop action. A little bit more competitive than we saw in the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals last weekend, they pretty much went 2-0 and out. And in these games, yesterday between Rose Noir and OP, they went the full five, best of five.
Yep.
And
We even
this
saw a game, me and Arya, me and you saw a game today that went for 50 something minutes.
Yes. And today, going four out of five of the games today with Red Zone
Yes.
versus Easy Gaming.
It was a 4 out of 5 stretch, and I guess between OP and Noir, we did see that 5 out of 5 game series, right?
Yeah, that was really exciting. Yesterday and today, I have to admit, both of them were very exciting games, and it was in both of them. Game four was the critical game in both series. So go ahead. You said you were going to start at the top of the weekend. You want to go ahead and do that?
Oh, yeah, sure, that's what we're doing. I was just saying that you're on the top of our presentation and I'm on the bottom half. You cover the top side, I cover the bottom side. I mean, starting from the top, Levesque and Arya were the ones that commentated this. I did stop by and watch this match, but I didn't see it as
Okay.
well as all the viewers did, or even as Arya did, or Lev, who is not here right now. But I pretty much know what happened. And I mean, this game that we're looking at right now, for example, is just a steady, kind of slow climb for Rose Noir. A little bit of early game advantage, kind of looking like GHDCKS. This is an interesting section of the game right here, too. A Sea of Tidesinger trying to steal the Order Spiders results in First Blood. And that is something that me and Arya actually witnessed earlier today. It didn't result in a First Blood, but there's a lot of aggression coming over towards Order side. They have to defend their farm. Whoever is playing on Order side has to defend their spiders. They keep getting stolen by the Chaos Junglers.
Definitely. It is a lot easier to steal jungle when you're on the chaos side, as opposed to coming into the, going upstream into the chaos from order. And really, for this game, this is basically just Rose Noir doing what they do best, having their plan, executing it, focusing on objectives, not necessarily focusing on kills. And they travel in pairs. They're never soloing. And this is, typical what you expect out of Rose Noir. So there isn't very much to focus on in this game. Rose Noir wins this pretty solidly, and many were afraid that this was the way this entire set was going to go. It didn't, however, and it's game two that was really surprising for that. So again, if you wanted to just I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, we can take a look at it. There's not a lot that's too surprising here, except for the Persephones were so. I mean, it is of note that the Persephones were so strong on both sides, and with Rose Noir obviously being even a little bit more, it was the deciding factor having the better Persephone.
Yeah,
And
that's funny too, because Wywo even himself saying, it's too early. Whenever people come out with new heroes, you shouldn't be playing them. And watch his guild mid laner does that very thing, and so does the enemy.
yeah,
And it just comes as a result of her release. She's such a strong hero, from what I hear, of just the way that she's made. That she's just almost a necessary pick if you're gonna leave her open.
Right, and hence why she was banned in the very next game, and it kind of took that out of the equation. OP thought they could roll with their Persephone. They learned quickly that it was best to just take that off the table, and they did. And instead, they came with their own game plan, the second game, and were able to execute it.
All right, well, let's take a look at the second game. We see a steady climb for Rose Noir. Scores 22-8 right now, 19 minutes in. And this shows the game ending, but let's just take a look real quick at this last push for Rose Noir entering the base of OP, and they're just going to attack the structures. Their Persephone is level 15, while the enemy's is only level 12. Their mid laner's better. They're playing something way too strong, and actually this last team fight, Persephone and Frostel really unload on OP, and that was a little bit of a dominant, I'd say.
Well, they're so fat at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
It was just one last push. All 5 of them were there. They weren't even worried about the team fight. They were just trying to make sure they killed the base too. So moving on to game 2, we see a little bit here of Arya and Lavesme's wonderful cast. They're going over some skills on the break in between. And so we're going to take a look here at game 2, guys, between OP and Rose Noir. And we did see an Ant Guard pick coming out. A Critics is on the scene again. So they didn't ban out a Critics. It looks like the bans for this game were Persephone and Donovac. And then Rose Noir banned out Elf and Kjax for the opposing team. Which is funny. You keep seeing the Kjax ban from Rose Noir, Arya. Is there something that OP has a very nice Kjax player?
They do. They do have a good Kjax player. He was just recently buffed in the latest update, and there was definitely something Rose Noir, saw there that they didn't even want to take a chance with. However, you'll see in the later games they had to take the Kjax off the bans because they replace it with, in this game right here, the Ant, and that is the headline for this game too. It's Young C 1992. He's a relatively new player on the scene.
Sure.
And has only been playing Heroes of Order and Chaos for 3 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Know. That just blows me away.
That blows me away a little bit. And also that he did such a good job. Antguard is kind of a high skill cap hero, believe it or not. Especially a gameplay like this. And it's hard to believe somebody for 3 months actually knows how to drag a red buff over and then farm it perfectly under a tower while a tower is attacking it and the creeps are attacking it and still get the last hit. But I've honestly never seen players do that have been playing this for a year. Most people don't even know that you can do that. And besides, I mean, you're also taking a gamble there too. I mean, that was one of the highest level of plays I've seen in this, and it's from somebody that's only been playing for 3 months. Let's take a look at this real quick again. I'm sorry we're just talking about farming, but this is some really high level play, guys. We're going to go ahead and look at this thing with the Ant Guard, where he takes the red buff with the help of his tower, and with the creeps. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen in Heroes of Order and Chaos, especially in the heat of, here it is right here, in the heat of a red buff tournament. Young C 1992 actually drags red buff all the way over to his lane and then uses his own tower. I mean, that's actually crazy.
Yeah. Now, I did when I was interviewing him, I did not ask whether, and he probably is a avid MOBA player. So
who knows? I mean, maybe he's just an RTS player, plays StarCraft or something, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, anything but brand new to HOC, because it's just too much for my little mind to wrap around. But that's actually just so beautiful to see that kind of play coming in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fast forward. This match, I did get to watch it, and there was a couple really big highlights in this game. And I think it's very easy to see how much of it was actually centered around that Ant Guard.
Yes, that was the headline for this game, was the Ant. He was the game changer, difference maker. He was very effective. He did exactly what an Ant support should do, and focused on executing his ultimates on the carries, enabling his team to take out the carries. And it was, simple plan, but executed. And we can see later on in the games today where an Ant was used and didn't, even though it sounds simple enough, was not effective at getting the ult.
We talked about that during the game too, Arya, and I know it's almost like a letdown after watching Young C's Ant. And Garrick is a good Ant player as well, but I mean, just the playstyle wasn't even nearly the same.
No, not I totally agree. So I think he kind of maybe made it look easy, and maybe
Well, that's
uh,
what they do. They make it look easy.
they thought that they could repeat it. And that is, you're exactly right. That is what pro players do. They make this stuff
They
look
make
easy.
it look so easy. The blink forward and then straight into an immobilization is not easy, you guys. Let's go ahead. And if you're just tuning in, thank you so much. We got almost over 100 viewers right now. And you're joined right now live by me and Arya. We're just doing a quick recap of kind of just this weekend overall. We're taking our eyes onto the semifinals. And right now, this game is the game that is between OP and Rose Noir. And this happened yesterday. And Arya, Tara, and Levesque were the ones who casted these matches. This matchup in the semifinals between OP and Rose Noir went for 5 games.
It was a very exciting matchup, and it again can't be overstated that OP made history in the first time they didn't beat Rosnar just once, they beat them twice, and that was the first time in 30 some odd games that Rosnar has been beaten in a tournament setting. So OP did outstanding and came so close, but it was came down to that last game in the best of 5 series, and Rosnar showed why they were Rosnar. They
Sure, this game that we're watching right now, Rose Noir actually loses, but Rose Noir, like Arya said, wins the series. And I think Rose Noir loses 2 in a row here, or do they win the next? They win the next one, actually. Is that
it literally goes back and forth with
okay?
Rosnar taking the first one again, following it was all day. Whoever played the order side won.
Uh huh.
And even today, it was the same series until the very last game broke that
Yeah,
streak.
true.
So it definitely, so this one goes to OP, and you see in the very next game when and this is all about Ant. So if
Yeah,
yeah,
well, let's
just
take a
guys
look at
watch.
it is all about Ant. It's also the Frost Zell too. So I want to take a look right here at this late game fight that happens with the Frost Zell, and OP's team has this most insane team fight, you guys, and it's right outside of Rose Noir's base. And let's just take a look at how this happens right here, and take a look at this team fight, you guys. It's actually coming up on screen here pretty quickly. And I think who is the player for the Frost Zell?
Who, 10?
That is
For
10. Yeah, that's 10.
But actually, this game was actually all about the frost cell, or that you have to I have to give some props to GHDCK, because his frost cell was just overpowering. I mean, and I'm trying not to overuse that term, but he really was laying it on. You can see he ended up with a score of 14-6 with 14 kills, 6 deaths, whereas Tin that game only had 12 kills and 8 deaths. So it was really GHDCK who had the better frost cell, but it was the feed on by the fellow players. I
I
mean,
love that. I
a
love
lot of
that part right
deaths.
there where Frostel just says, "Forget the team fight. I'm just running for Rose Noir's base," and it starts attacking their base.
Everybody was they were all
Oh,
base focused.
it was
Everybody,
so funny.
nobody was looking for extra kills or KD ratio. They were all going straight for
Distracting for
base.
10. Yeah, it was
Uh,
one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Um, and this Ant Guard, just the entire game, wow, just, oh man, Young C's Ant Guard was basically so in tune with his team
and right
that
here, I think
made him
he's going
look
to go
good.
watch this. Frostel's going to take the bait. He wants to go for Ant, and instead gets trapped and
Yeah,
taken. And so yeah, that was sorry, and I am 20 seconds behind.
yeah, that's why I said the Ant Guard was so good. But now we're looking at a team fight, and I don't know, these are just crazy team fights. I keep remembering OP just having no HP and barely living, so that's kind of how this one ended, guys. They're killing the base right now, so we're going to move on to Game 3. Do you have any comments about that game, too? It was all about the Ant Guard. Of course, the performance by Jin was very good, and Arya, Winddancer, and the Sia were all in sync, and the Retrofit Queen as well. I mean, it was just a beautiful game coming out from OP.
Absolutely. And so now we're going on to game 3, which this
Yes.
is Rosemar. And for this one, this is where they switched it up, and instead they banned Ant, which opened up the door for Kagax. And Tin puts on and goes ahead and goes with Kagax. And everybody thought this was, people, the viewers were all cheering, excited to see the Kagax. And this he was less than it was a little disappointing,
Yep.
But
Kind of
did
reminds me of this one time I used K-Jax in a tournament video and decided I could never remember that video ever again.
yeah.
It's so bad at K-Jax sometimes. It's almost like he was trolling, but we know he wasn't. That's actually kind of insulting to say because we know how good his K-Jax can be. And I actually feel the same way about my K-Jax when I tried to use him in a tournament and I had a similar result. I have nothing to do with this tournament, but in the past I have tried to pull out a K-Jax pick when I got to the finals for a 2v2 tournament, and it was a huge mistake. And I feel like this person playing K-Jax felt the same exact way. Was it 10? And he's a star player for them. He was serious. He really wanted to bring out some good K-Jax. But, I mean, Rose Noir just completely abused him.
Exactly. Rosnar knows how to shut a hero down, how to starve him out, just like they did to Rose Blanc last week in shutting out Real Yongachi's horse. They did the same exact thing in just
Yes.
completely shutting down early games, complete applying pressure early, and not letting up off the juggernaut, off the throat of OP. And this one just completely snowballs. And as you can see, right, I'm looking at a score of 11-1.
Yeah, I'm looking at 11-2 right now. OP barely picking up on another kill, but then all of a sudden the score turns into 18-3 Arya. And we're looking at OP just kind of leaving their base running into decimation here. The K-Jax is only level 9. He was just so useless. It's sad. It's almost sad. It's so useless, the K-Jax was. But could have carried the game for them.
It yeah, it was. I mean, he was completely ineffective because he was completely shut down. I mean, and all of them so underleveled. On the other side, Rose Noir getting so fed. There's not much anything that OP can do,
At this
and
point, Rosenauer actually has twice the amount of gold
yes,
as
and
OP. I didn't
it
notice that.
it's. I mean, it's amazing. It's like it almost it takes a loss for Rose Noir to wake up, and then they bring the pain.
They really
It,
did. I
yeah,
mean, it's just
I mean,
angry Rose Noir, and you
not even
lose.
messing around, and they're again doing what they do, going straight for base and all and focusing on objectives, you know, and just slaughter. It was a
Yep.
slaughter.
All right, guys. So if you're just tuning in, you're joined right now live by me and Arya. Thank you guys so much for all tuning in to the Game Loft channel tonight. We're doing just a quick analysis. We're almost done here, actually. We're moving on to Game 4 of yesterday's semifinals games. That started yesterday. Semifinals started yesterday. Semifinals actually wrapped up today with me and Arya. But we're taking a look at yesterday's games with Levesque and Arya. That was Game 3 with YWO and leading the charge for Rose Noir against OP, and it was an amazing series, Arya. It really was.
And this is the game where Tin turns it on with the frost cell. The previous game,
Oh, okay.
GHDCK deserved, needed. It was all about everyone was yelling and screaming the hype about Tin's frost cell, but GHDCK does deserve some props for his frost cell as well. But this is the one that was such an exciting game of the whole
Yeah.
weekend. It was so exciting to watch, and
Yes.
it was really Tin just really just
I
one
really
sets the
agree.
ball. Yeah, that's
Yes.
frost. So let's go ahead and go and let's take a
I
look.
really agree with you. I mean, this was. I mean, yes, focus is kind of on GHDCK as 10 is not playing in the tournament anymore. So any talk that we do of 10 is totally worthwhile, especially since we're not going to get to watch him play anymore. And he's
Absolutely.
one of the few players that wanted that victory enough to really carry against Rose Noir, and we watched him do it.
And actually, I had talked briefly with Kang, who plays Sia Tidesinger in this whole series, and actually, a shout out to him that he really played an excellent Sia in all of them. You can see in this game he got 26 assists, the most of anybody on this game, and he was actually going to come and do a kind of post game interview and talk about some of the strategies that OP utilized and what they were looking to execute and what they did were able to and what failed. And I really maybe not obviously not today, but maybe sometime would love to follow up with Kang with that interview before these games go by the wayside because I really do think that OP deserves a lot of credit. This fourth game especially, if you guys get a chance to watch one game for the entire weekend, watch this one. It was so much fun. It really was. I'd have to say the fourth games in both of these were the most exciting.
This is probably one of my favorite hot games of all time, but um, the solo performance. I mean, he wasn't solo; he was with his team, and he was in sync. But the individual performance coming from Ting really turned me on to this game. I I haven't seen anything quite like it. And it was really, really kind of in it, lucky. It had everything. It was lucky. It was fast. It was smart. It was crazy. I mean, it was game changing. It was everything. I mean, these last minute plays from the Frostzell on, I guess it was on the order side.
Yes.
The orders Frostzell, guys, is what we're talking about. This is game 4 between
Again,
Rose
it's
Noir and OP.
easy to remember. It was always the order side all day long. That was all that won on yesterday was all order. And for the weekend, basically, uh, 8 out of 9 games, the order side won. So there you go. By the way, hey there, Season Salt Alpha X Pro. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, if it hasn't been said, a little shout out, congratulations to Denver, who won the Super Bowl. And I'm so sorry to the Panther fans out there.
I'm a
So,
Panther fan, Arya.
oh, I'm very sorry, Fit. It's a nice
I
just.
I am too. I'm sorry that we had to watch the Broncos win, but it's okay, guys. And I'm just messing. Arya. I'm a Broncos fan. Anybody that my grandma's rooting for, I'm rooting for. I mean, me personally, I'm kind of more into esports, but I definitely watch the Super Bowl every year. I don't follow individual football games. I watch esports.
And Matt Nick, the commentary is live, but we are watching replays of the shows from the games from this weekend. This was the semifinals in Heroes of an Order and Chaos Winter Series 2016, and we're watching the semifinals. We're kind of quickly wrapping up here, giving you guys the highlights.
Sure. All right, we're gonna go ahead and fast forward this game just a little bit. See a little bit of action and everybody fighting over some kills. OP picking up 1 kill off of Rose Noir. And we're going to go ahead and move on with this game just a little bit more down the line. Score still 2-4. Now it's 4-5. OP actually winning their way back into this match and getting a little bit of momentum. Rose Noir answers back, gets a couple kills. We're going to move forward a little bit. It's actually more progression down the same lines. 5-8 is right now the score. 5-9. And then you see another kill coming for OP. OP having just a wonderful time when they group up. And it looks here like we're 20 minutes into the game. And we're just going to keep going forward. Now OP's pulled ahead. It's 21-15. Their Frostzell is hitting for 700 on Dragon. And we're going to go ahead and show OP picking up Guija buff. And right now we're kind of getting into some of these later game fights that I was expressing earlier that I really, really enjoyed watching. And I think you'll see here some of these
And if you want to watch,
moments.
if you want to slow down, yeah, near the end of the game, this is highest going for the tower. Picks up. I mean, again, Rose Noir is still focusing on the objectives, focusing on what they need to do. It's not like they didn't put up a fight. But this, especially late game when Frostzell gets fed, this
right
is
here. We're
yeah.
on it right now. Look at him kiting them, and he's going into the bush, and he just totally goes in there and outplays all of Rose Noir, and they are just. This is, guys, everything you just saw. I'm gonna rewind that play real quick. Everything you just saw was at half speed. Can you believe that? Watch this, guys. Watch this. Here we go again. We're gonna go at a little bit more than half speed. All right. Watch this engagement that happens up under tower, and the way that Tin has gotten fans for his Frostzell. This was absolutely amazing. It's a shame he's not in the tournament anymore. Rose Noir did win this series, but this is game 4. Watch how the Sia engages on Frostzell. Then he gets ulted. Then that Sia gets ulted by the enemy Sia. He turns around, just one-shots her. And then Paladin is walking up to Frostzell thinking that that's an easy one-shot kill. But look at how much kiting Tin does, and he actually avoids 3 Rose Noir members when it was an easy kill from high first.
Right.
And I mean that those kind of plays, I mean that's something you do not see. You don't just not see that every game. You never see that.
That was right there is what made Tin famous right there.
Yeah.
That little series right there was amazing. Was just
Yes.
mind-blowing amazing, and he deserves all the credit. So much credit and all the props that he gets. He
And
did die there.
he dies
Yep.
and
Pow.
TP's back, and then he just does the same exact thing he just did, and he just basically 1v3s Rose Noir.
Yeah. He
And
was
it
just
makes me laugh.
absolutely. I have to say, you crack me up with the pronunciation sometimes. Ez Gaming and then High first, and I don't
Isn't
know.
that his name though? It's HIGH and then the letter 1 or the number 1.
Yeah, but most people are calling it his highest.
Why do they say highest though?
Why? Because that's
His name is High First.
okay.
It's HIGH and then the number 1 and then ST. High First is his
Yep.
name.
And there's more than one way to pronounce something. As gaming, there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong
their
with
name is
as
definitely
gaming.
their name is definitely Easy Gaming. I just call them Ez Gaming just because that's a way to like actually say it as a word instead of two letters. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to Game 5. Um, and Game 5. Can you give me a quick rundown in Game 5? You did cast it yesterday. Just go ahead and give me some of your thoughts on Game 5 between Rose Noir and OP.
Again, classic Rose Noir. And this is just going to be, again, at this point, the same bans had been established. Rose Noir still banning but they let the elf, they banned Frost Cell this game. After that amazing performance by Tin, they banned Frost Cell, and instead Tin plays elf. So they've opened the door for elf, and Rose Noir doesn't play an elf. Was their plan basically. Hap Disney is split pushing the entire game for the most part, and continuing to take towers, and it actually ends up Hap Disney being the one who carries in that game. In this last game right here, so this again was
Uh
just kind
huh.
of classic Rose Noir, where they
I don't see
just
an elf though. I'm sorry. I just don't see
yeah,
the elf.
the elf in
Oh,
game
she has that new
have
golden skin that makes her look crazy.
the new
Yes, I
tournament
remember.
skin.
I
So
remember this game, and yeah, it's just such a shame to see Tin on Frostel, and then afterwards on Elf, who is just ineffective.
yeah, it's actually, I mean, yeah, this is the tournament skins. So if you guys didn't get a chance to check it out, these were skins that were made specifically just for this tournament.
Uh huh.
And
It's hard to
uh,
see. That elf looks good. I like the way that she looks. I love all the new golden skins. It's in a package of 5 skins or 4 skins. I think it's 4, right?
yes, it's a package of 4 skins, or you can buy them individually. But the package of 4 skins that has the Kotun, the Lou, the Elf, and the Carly Q.
All right,
And
everybody's fighting over Guija in this. This was a huge fight, and I think Guija went to OP here, or did it get picked up by? I got picked up by Rose Noir here.
no, no, it got picked up by OP, but again, it was not the team. Like in the last game, Rose Noir picked up the Ouija buff,
Oh, you're
but they
right.
lost the team fight. And again, this is what happens, but the reverse,
Yeah,
where Rose Noir, or OP picks up the Ouija buff, but they lose the team fight.
and
And
they're all trying to focus Wywo, and they don't even get the kill on him. And then afterwards, Wywo is level 13, and they're all not even level 13. Nobody on Wywo's team is even level 13. Basically, is what happened there. You see everybody kind of just go for Rose Noir's leader, and he's alive.
yeah, and again, this also showed where Arya Wind Dancer, it was just she just wasn't cutting it anymore
It's
as far as
sad. It's sad. You know that he would have gotten that kill with Frosto.
yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Just because Arya isn't the same, guys. Arya focuses a lot on armor penetration just with her basic attacks.
Well,
Um,
Arya's the same, but it's now there's this new OP hero on the board, and some of the fighters before just don't deal the same amount of basically just aren't dishing out the same amount of damage.
yeah,
So
Frostel is a little bit hard to gank too. He has some interesting qualities. Like he is a little bit hard to gank. His CC is ineffective, but I mean it is effective for just kind of blasting people away from him. And also maybe just defending against a gank. Arya does have CC. She's a fighter carry with CC. But if you want a fighter with CC, you should go for Nut, right? Um,
yes,
so in my opinion, teams should have been picking Frostel or Nut. If they don't get the Nut pick, then they go with Frostel. If you don't get Frostel, you go with Nut. No in between for the Arya Wind Dancer. I think that she's out of there. But that's just my own personal like
well, I know that Hacker really
feelings.
specializes in Arya. Hacker probably plays the Arya on this one, and
Uh
also
huh.
a
Yeah,
lot of
he
people
does.
credit Arya's range. I mean, being able to take out towers without even being in tower range is
That makes her
big.
viable in itself, and not only that, but Hacker's Arya makes it viable for himself as well. But I mean, if it's not him playing it, then pretty much I don't think anybody should be playing Arya because I know Hacker Pro. What's his numbers? I can't remember, but it's Hacker Pro is his name, and he plays for what team? He was on OP.
OP,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Um.
He was one of the
Yeah, go
original.
ahead, Arya. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that he is an Arya main, so it makes sense to me.
It does make sense. It's just with this, they just weren't able to execute. I mean, Young C 1992 plays Melina in this game, goes 0 and 8, pretty much just shut down on bot lane in the beginning, gets under farmed and completely ineffective. And yes, her range is very tight, so and she doesn't have. You have to be able to kite with Melina, and you just didn't see that with. We saw an amazing ant out of him, but he just wasn't able to quite do the same with Melina, Young C 1992. Kangaskhan, he still played as well. He played an excellent Sia Tide Singer, and Extract did a solid job, did what he was supposed to do on Red Trophy, but really the story here in Game 5 was Rosnar doing what they do and doing, with their, Sia Tide Singer was, pro highest, Pally was knocking down towers, and then GHCCK actually fit. This is where we mentioned the power of Phase Master. He was just bursting them down, and with
Mm-hmm. Well,
and
I think overall it's just an amazing pick. And even remember catching Paladin and Red Trophy roaming around the jungle together. Do you know why they do that? The reason that they
they're
do that,
ganking.
huh?
Why Rosemara goes around in pairs and ganks?
No, just that pair specifically. The reason that Rose Noir really, really likes this is the semifinals, right? You better have a good reason for having your picks. Well, Retrophy Queen has built-in armor, all right? She hasn't just built-in 10 armor, and Paladin also gives his allies an armor buff. And so that means that if you pair a Paladin with a Retrophy Queen and you're running around the jungle, Paladin and Retrophy Queen will have more armor than everybody else on the map and the highest gank potential. So it's just a mathematical thing. I mean, just by having those two running around together, not even without the Paladin shield, Retrophy Queen has a base 10 armor, and if she goes into a switch stance, she gains even more armor. That's why. The Paladin and Retrophy Queen are running around with really good stats in the jungle. Anybody that comes up to them, unless it's a fed mage, nothing is going to happen. So that's actually why. Let's go ahead and move on to the games from today.
All right, and that was kind of for some after that OP performance from Frostel in Game 4. Game 5 was just was exciting for the Rosnoir fans out there, but really disappointing for the people rooting for the underdogs, or especially when you were given a little bit of hope and then it dashed away. So that Game 5 pretty much wraps up yesterday. Very exciting series. And then, let's go move on to Red Zone versus Easy Gaming today. Another exciting series of games. And if you want to go ahead and start us off with Game 1?
Sure. There's somebody from Camcorder in here saying that we need to watch our language. Is there something that we said? Because I'm looking at the viewers and it doesn't look like anybody said anything either. Did we cuss or something?
They could have been banned if somebody said something, and once they're banned, we don't see their thing in there.
Okay.
But all right, so let's go ahead and Game 1: Easy Gaming versus Red Zone.
All right, this is something that was casted by me and Arya today. I guess Arya was up this morning getting ready for this broadcast, and it started, I don't know, maybe 10 hours ago. This is the second part of the semifinals this weekend. This is the games between Red Zone and Easy Gaming. And, I don't know, just overall, Arya, this went for 4 games. What are your thoughts on the first 2 games?
Well, the first game, obviously the headline it was all about the heal team comp.
Sure, that was not the first time they've used it in this tournament, right?
Nope, they used it back in the quarterfinals with Bro.
And how many times did they use it? More than once?
And they used it twice today, so they used it 3 times.
Oh, okay, they only used it once. Interesting.
Yeah, they only had to use it once because it went 2-0 in the game in the match against Bro.
Oh, okay, so they didn't use a heal comp the other time. They used a regular comp. It's interesting. It's interesting to see a team here that comes with differently prepared strategies. I think that's great.
Absolutely. And in Red Zone, to some extent, actually reminds me a little bit of Rosenoir, where they do come with very specific team strategies and specific team comps that they have practiced, and not just, going to try to force their way through or rely on the strength of their players in meta heroes. So little creativity there, and it pays off in a big way today for Red Zone.
I think Easy Gaming might actually be a little bit mad at themselves. because they're the ones in my history of playing with them, not in tournaments, but just on like a competitive level in GVGs and just friend v friend, where you run into their guild. They're kind of the ones that I always felt like in my heart they were known for using these really trolly heal comps, and even Sky Evil, another top guild that used to face against Easy Gaming. Even Sky Evil used to complain about that. They would say it's annoying because Easy Gaming is beating us every once in a while, and they're really good at practice with Goblin Scout healing, and we can't do anything about their healing. So I think Easy Gaming, when they came across this heal comp in the tournament, I think it was like a personal mental thing for them, Arya. I think they were like, why aren't we doing that? You know what I mean? I think because I just know that they used to. I know that they used to love to be able to do really good without having to pick these super strong, best kit heroes, always meta, best jungler, best mid laner. You know what I mean? I just,
Yes.
I really, and not only that, but they could have used Phase Master for that, because Phase Master got a buff where he boosts magical attack of his allies by 60 with his ulti. I mean, to me, if you know Easy Gaming, you've played against them in the past,
They
you know
did
Silencer.
play Phase Master.
I know. That's why I'm saying they could have even used Phase Master for a heal comp. They could have thrown in Phase Master with a heal comp, is what I've said. But
Mm.
they didn't. And I really feel like, now this is just hearsay, but this is hearsay from somebody who's played against Easy Gaming multiple times. I feel like they're kicking themselves right now, and they're kind of wishing that they had been the ones using fun heals. They didn't use a single healer on their team.
Not in this game. No, they
Not,
didn't.
not in any of
And
them, right? I mean, it would
I,
have
I
been nice if they did.
yeah, well, it would have definitely helped their team out because obviously the strategy with heal is you are able to outlast your opponent in the team fights.
Sure.
And that's exactly what Red Zone did here. And they used the danger. I mean, they used a lot of heal here in this game. They used Helm Slagfist, they used Fox, they used Aerofern, and Witch. So four
Yeah.
healers and one damage dealer. So
Uh-huh.
they they did a great job. The danger always is that you're not going to have enough damage end game, but this game didn't even get to end game. It caught Easy Gaming off guard, and Garrick as Ant. We thought maybe we're going to see a repeat of Ant being so effective, and all he had to do was shut down Frost Cell. Not able to do that. Wasn't able to do that in this game, and it was Heal Team for the win for Game 1 today, Red Zone versus Easy Gaming. And you can see here, I guess we're still in the beginning of this game.
Oh yeah, we're taking this one slow. It's just so funny that Easy Gaming can actually be losing in kills, but they'll still have more gold. Right now, that's not the case, but I just think that's so funny that they're such good players. They're so used to playing early game, they'll pretty much win lane, and then maybe they'll lose a couple kills here and there, but they're still ahead by gold. I wonder if they even know that they're ahead by gold.
I
It's
think
impossible to tell, but
that no, it's not impossible. I mean, you can pretty much take a guesstimate. And and I do know players who kind of keep track of, mentally, kind of in the back of their heads, the gold, not exactly, but
you're talking to
guesstimating.
one. You're talking to one. But it's weird. It's weird to see the score at 5-1, but yet you almost have more gold. I almost never feel like that when I'm in a game and I look. I try to tell my team though. I'm like, look, guys, I know the score is this and that, but I actually have more gold than everybody else. Please don't surrender. It really is like that happens all the time because
Yeah.
I know that I'm the strongest one on the map, but all they hear is kill streak. And
So
so, I mean, that is a little disconcerting when the only thing you can hear from your game is kill streak,
yeah,
and
it
it's not coming
definitely
from your team.
was an excellent blink and take out with a taunt by Valox right there. I always do love a good blink and taunt by Valox. And that's what we needed to see more of from Easy Gaming, from Silencer there, but was not able to. And it needs to be said though. By the way, this is game 1 for today in Red Zone versus Easy Gaming. This is the semifinals of Heroes of Order and Chaos
Yeah,
and
this was
Winter
casted by me
2000.
and Arya. This was casted by us.
Yes.
If you guys didn't make it out there today, I do apologize for that. If you're just tuning into this stream, that's what me and Arya are doing. We're just
Sorry,
taking a quick look.
I'm just holding a pen. Sorry, it's a little bit of a crutch. And in this game, Roma came out with a nice, beautiful skin. It was so sad to see the Frost Cell go 1-6 with that beautiful skin, but it just the it was definitely, again, we're going to see it again today. The heel team for the win. And again, it needs to note that there was no Essence Stealer being built by. I mean, I can understand maybe the it being caught off guard, but as soon as you see a heel team, that should be the first thing that pops into your mind. You need to first
As a physical hero
you
player.
have to build that Essence Stealer, and it negates the whole heel team. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept,
Sure.
and
Yeah,
and
you just
you
put that on your carry and then have him go for theirs, and then you can cut through all their heals.
right, and you did see that in Game 4.
Finally.
Yes,
But
and
they
it
weren't good at it yet. They should have been practicing it earlier. I mean, I'm being tough on these teams, okay? This is the finals. You want to stick to your strategies, but look, if you wanted that to work, I mean, Arya, you saw how, what's the word? Forced that those fights were coming from Easy Gaming, that trying to run up to the enemy team's Frost Cell. I mean, it was very forced. They had to walk up to the Frost Cell.
yeah,
I mean,
they
it was very awkward, and it was very forced. And I mean, EC Gaming had to pay for that. All right, they should have known that what they're trying to do is get their Frost Cell in with the Essence Stealer on top of their carry, and they just never had that down. What ended up happening is their Guardians would engage on the back line, and they would go for Frost Cell, the enemy team's Frost Cell, but their whole team wasn't able to go with the engage. They got zoned or engaged on themselves, and then got distracted, which can't happen. If your team lays out the red carpet for you, you got to follow in closely behind. Even if you get engaged on, you have to ignore it. But Easy Gaming wasn't disciplined enough. Truly, this is actually how it worked, in my opinion. Easy Gaming wasn't disciplined enough as a team to really work out that engage as a team. And if you see the Red Trophy Queen and Silencer going for the Frost Cell on the back line, you got to follow them. You got to follow them. I don't care if you're the Phase Master. I don't care if you're Frost Cell. But that should have been... Oh, that was a wonderful outplay. That was Nang Xiang killing the enemy Frost Cell, defending his tower. But, I mean, that's just what's got to happen. You cannot watch your two tanks engage for you and not follow through on their carry when they're running a heal comp. Because guess what? You engage on them, that's the only engage you're going to get, and none of y'all are escaping from the Grey Witch. Period. She buffs all of her allies' movement speed, and if you're going in on their team, none of y'all are escaping out of there. Either you're killing their carry and winning the team fight, or you're all dead, and you don't even realize that with all that support.
absolutely. So yeah, obviously, Easy Gaming not able to execute their plan effectively. They had some great heroes. Their plan obviously was to get the Valox to taunt, and the Garrick to his ulti as well. They had two carry killers or two traps. They also had CC out of Phase Master. Wasn't able to do it. And again, this is the first game, and I think the whole heal team thing did catch Easy Gaming off guard. You do see them adjusting in Game 4 against the heal team and almost, I mean, astonishingly not pulling off the win, because that's the game that I really think that they're kicking themselves for. Is Game 4? I mean, that
Yeah,
one was
that's kind of the one I was talking about just now when I rambled too. I wasn't even thinking about this one, but I was thinking about when they brought back the heal comp again.
So let's go ahead and we're gonna. I mean, we know that the heal team basically catches Easy Gaming off guard,
Yes, ma'am.
and they push in there. I'm just trying to get through because we're
Well, right now I'm looking at game 2, Arya, and it is 5-0.
yeah. This one it goes to Easy Gaming again, keeping with the order side team winning. Okay, sorry, I'm still looking at
No,
even
this is, yeah, the Chaos side is ahead in the beginning, but Easy Gaming is actually 0-5 right now. This is the one where Silencer is like level 2 ganking people.
yes, and also where it was just amazing that again you did see a reoccurring where Easy Gaming behind in kills, but able to stay in there in the gold by winning the CS in lane
Uh-huh.
against Yang. and also the farming
See,
and
now that's
um,
where we can say Easy Gaming is a little bit more disciplined. That's where we can say Easy Gaming has spent a lot of time as a team conquering these obstacles. Look, you're losing in the beginning, fine. We're going to stay disciplined as a team. We're going to work towards that late game. And I'm level 2, fine. I don't care. I'll gank for you. You know, this is a very good team that we see this game, but you know, where it came apart against Red Zone. Why is Red Zone going against Rose Noir right now instead of Easy Gaming? Team fights. Team fights. The team fights from Red Zone were better.
okay.
I mean,
There we go.
if you look at global map pressure, Easy Gaming realized it was important. So did Red Zone. The team fights completely determined this game. Easy Gaming did a good job farming in the lane, and if it was just up to that, then Easy Gaming would have won every single game. However, Easy Gaming being better at farming in the lane doesn't make them better at team fights. Easy Gaming, almost every game, me and Arya Tara noticed that Easy Gaming had the lead in farm early, and it's a funny thing to watch that from a disciplined team because guess what? They will be behind in kills but ahead in gold. Easy Gaming will have 1 kill and have died 4 times, but guess what? They're winning in gold. That's a disciplined team. That is the same show that you see from Easy Gaming every time. Why are they losing to teams that apparently have inferior mechanics in the lane repeatedly? Well, I mean, they're picking the wrong fights. And you can see it over and over and over again with Easy Gaming. They pick the right ones, but when they pick the wrong ones, they just walk right into it. And it is bad.
I do think that this has a little bit to do with team comp, and Easy Gaming wins this match, and they win it nicely, and they are again. This to me is classic Easy Gaming, where they show patience and they're comeback kings. So thank you, Colson First Bay, for the mini star. Lots of mini stars, and it's this game to me is classic Easy Gaming. This is uh, game two, is it? Yeah,
We're in
this
game
is
two
game
right
two.
now.
Yeah. And this is the one where you see where Easy Gaming is patient. They show a lot of patience and waiting, biding their time, picking up the kills on the defense and waiting for the mistakes by Red Zone and then exploiting those mistakes and capitalizing on them. And that's what they did in this game. Uh, and it has to be said that the Kotun made a difference too. Again, having Max 98 Russ play Kotun and having that pull in that CC for Roma to go in there and burst them down, uh, and Garrick to pick them off as Frost Cell really helped out. And I think that I'm a big fan of Kotun in team lineups because he's just such an all around MVP.
Yeah, I remember Saxofonista's co-tune. Saxofonista this game is playing Elf and is finding himself feeling very much like Jin did in the game against Rose Noir. You can be good with Elf, but I don't know. Maybe Elf's just not that good right now. I mean, I'm not seeing them do very well.
When you have these other heroes that are just putting out so much damage. I mean, anytime I know, for instance, like Noob, who the mid laner for Synergy, uh, famous for his Newt, but as soon as he tried out Frostcell, he switched immediately to Frostcell because he said anytime Frostcell versus almost any hero in lane, Frostcell is going to win out. And so he immediately switched over, even though he was a big fan of Newt.
Wow, these team fights from Easy Gaming are really amazing this game. But Red Zones were better. Why? Well, the team comps were there, but Easy Gaming was just not used to having to deal with such a high heal team. You can see that their strategy for dealing with a healing comp wasn't good. As Arya pointed out, they didn't even pick up Essence Stealer. I feel like even after they got Essence Stealer, I don't feel like they used it the right way. I feel like they were not disciplined enough in their engages and other factors that really led up to a poor performance by Easy Gaming. But that's not in this game. I think Easy Gaming wins this game.
Yeah,
and
this
we're gonna
game,
watch
yeah.
this one. Saxofonista getting clubbed in the face by Donovac, and Easy Gaming is gonna close this one out here soon. Remember, guys, they're not going against a heal comp this game, so this is something to keep in mind when we watch Gaming lose the semifinals.
because they
Yeah.
because they banned Fox. I mean, this one was where Easy Gaming came up, adjusted and banned Fox, came out
Right.
with a co-tune, and you can kind of see these teams following each other's lead. And you'll see, yes, you mentioned where Saxophonista follows up with his co-tune in the next game. And
Well, it's not because they banned Fox though, because the last game they did a heel comp and they didn't use Fox. I think they ran with Clint, Grey Witch, and I can't remember. Was
this,
it Airfern or?
yeah, but this is game two, and
They did ban out the Fox, but I mean that's not a reason you can't use a heal comp. That's just a reason why you can't use a heal comp with Fox. There's other healers that you can use.
yes, definitely. But in this game, it was they didn't run with the heel comp.
They didn't.
Yeah,
They did
and
have Fox banned out for them, and I can't remember who else was banned. I think it was Persephone and Fox.
yes, Persephone and
Okay.
Fox, and Easy Gaming pretty much went with the same horse and elf for the most part on their side.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna take a look here at game 3. And if you're just tuning in on the stream, you're joined here by live broadcast with Fit and Arya. Guys, we're actually just going over the semifinals. We just kind of discussed some of what we felt like helped push Rose Noir into the finals. They found their spot. Today we discovered that Easy Gaming was going to have to forfeit that spot over to Red Zone. I was rooting for Easy Gaming a little bit. I thought that they were going to come out on top. I was wrong. Red Zone really proving that they're the ones that belonged in the finals, and I think, Arya, that we found our 5-man team to go against Rose Noir. I think Red Zone are definitely the ones that should be there.
All right. Well, I think whoever, won the games or win deserves to be there. And so it was Red Zone that won the games today, and they're the
Yeah,
ones that deserve to be there.
Red Zone did win the games.
Absolutely. But I have to be said that Easy Gaming did have a lot of strong gameplay. And I feel like you're being a little bit hard on Easy Gaming. They really did. I think because maybe you were rooting for them a little bit, you are maybe a little bit disappointed in them and disappointed in them not winning today. It's They did bring some strong gameplay here, and they did show some adjustment. I honestly feel like the only adjustment to the different games within from game to game, the biggest critical mistake for Easy Gaming was in that game 4 where they had the momentum, they had the win, and
They
they
were trying
basically
so hard to close it out. I just saw them, they're like, come on, what else can I
I
do to end this game?
see, I felt like they weren't trying hard. They were just passive. They had the momentum, and they literally just pulled back and pulled off. There is a time and a place where we did see Easy Gaming, being patient and waiting, but they just waited too long, where it basically they were able to get so, enabled Red Zone to get so tanky
Really?
that
Because I
and
think I
and I
think
don't want
Red
to
Zone
skip
just kept
ahead.
engage. I think Red Zone just kept engaging on them. We can look, but I mean, I remember
Yeah,
Silencer and the Red Trophy Queen kept engaging for Easy Gaming, but then there was no follow up in game 4.
yeah. So, but let's not
It
skip
was
ahead.
like it
Let's
was
not
like what
let's
else
not
can we do? Like he just like keeps engaging on Red Zone and they keep dying in those team fights in the end. This is
yeah.
a really funny moment right here that you can't see for a few more seconds, but it's when the it's when Rider Master was clearing out the enemy little gnolls and he was almost killed the Donovac while he was at it.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
All right, I'm gonna watch and take a look. And yeah, I didn't want to skip ahead too far because I will discuss game 4 when it comes up. I think we all agree that was the critical game here in this series. And yeah, I did see
It
that.
was such a funny moment.
I,
It's just one of those moments where you're like, is that Sia gonna get first blood by that Donovac with like 10 HP? Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and just go forward. This was a really close game, as I remember. 16 minutes in, and it looks like 14 to 7, 17 to 7 now. Oh my gosh. And
and I can't help but get superstitious sometimes in these games. Well, again, in this game, in game 3 here in the
this
series
was
today,
yeah, this was Saxophonista. This was
yes,
a Saxophonista run game.
that's the headline for this game is Code Tune with Saxophonista and being played by Saxophonista. He just
He
was
just cracked me up this whole game. He was proxy farming on Easy Gaming, just standing there, doesn't care about anybody. I love seeing personality like that come through during tournament play. A lot of time people just become droids and they get kind of scared. It's good to see Saxophonista able to let loose and just kind of have some fun during the tournament. and actually dominate the game while he's at it as well. You see the score is 18-8 right now. Arya, I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward just a little bit more. I want to see some of these late game fights. And
Right. Once
I
the
don't want to
yeah,
spend too long on the farming.
and yeah, exactly. Garrick, he basically fed the Khotun early in lane, and he
Uh-huh.
like 3 early kills, and that really gave Saxofonista what he needed to, and he leveraged that basically.
All right, we're
Uh,
coming up on this fight here. Silencer gets taken out for nothing, so they lose their support, and that's pretty bad. But he's also your team captain, so when you lose your team captain, that's not good for you. But actually, Easy Gaming's still performing well without him. And then Silencer goes in there to try to help again, and he dies again. So it's like he just wasted a respawn token to have 4 people fight without him. It's very bad. Easy Gaming actually defends their tower there, and I mean, this is just absolute chaos. It's a real bloodbath. It's actually less chaotic. This is more of a bloodbath. It's just like, you're dead, I'm dead, you're dead, we'll take that, you're dead, boom, you're dead. I mean, this is really kind of, this is some
with
intense fighting here.
absolutely with 38 deaths in this game,
Yeah,
in 20
it's a
minutes, it
total
was,
bloodbath.
exactly more,
Yeah.
more that kills every 30 seconds, deaths every 30 seconds.
We do see some of those crazy chaotic fights breaking out. I wouldn't actually call this one of those. If you wanted to see some of those crazy chaos fights, go ahead and watch some of those Rose Noir games, or actually Game 5 here. Let's go ahead and look at Game 5.
Game
We're going to
4.
take a quick... I
Yeah.
think that was... Is that the end of Game 3? Okay, we're going to take a look
Yeah.
at Game 4 here.
And yeah, this was the critical game for today. And this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
that was very, I mean, game 4 in both yesterday and today. If again, I can't
This game.
tell you guys enough. I definitely go back and watch them, and you'll see some of the.
Easy Gaming is so mad at themselves right now, let me tell you, because Easy Gaming does trolley heal comps as good as any other guild, and they didn't even use it once in this tournament. I know that they must be thinking about this. Come on, that is their style that other people use.
It may be their style of like old school easy gaming.
It so is. It really is.
Right. For the easy gaming for the past year or so, and maybe since Kiku Gold is gone, they definitely they're pretty much go with meta heroes. I don't see a lot of crazy team comps out of easy gaming for the
I do. I
past
mean, the last
year.
time I GVG'd them was like 6 months ago, and they ran a Nomad and a Goblin Scout and a Grey Witch, and like nothing that you normally would see in a GVG.
All right. Well, we GVG them almost every day for the past year, and I can tell you, I mean, literally, we've GVG'd as boss GVG'd Easy Gaming more than any other guild, uh, up to 5-7 games a day, and they are really strong team hero meta heroes. I mean, and I don't see a lot of craziness out of them for the
That's
most part.
crazy. That's crazy because whenever I played against them, I'm used to seeing a lot of like unexpectedness. Like you really don't know what they're gonna hit you with next.
Yeah, and that may just be a difference of the personalities on the team. I know that Easy Gaming
Well, I mean,
has
if you guys played
been
them
keeping
7 times a day
some days, yes. I
for the
mean, because
last year, I mean, that's like you guys have
not
actually spent like
every
hundreds of
day.
hours with them over the course of a
Yes.
week.
Yeah, and Easy Gaming is actually one of my favorite team guilds out there. I mean, they don't trash talk. They bring good games. These are guys that just like to play fun competitive games every day. They're out there GVGing and they just want to play. I mean, these are just guys who want to play and it's not they don't take this too seriously. They don't take themselves too seriously. If you ever watch their streams, you can see that they are having fun. You can see it. Please check out Silencer Kuji Kuji. Their streams in Roma, they are having so much fun. They're laughing, they're yelling at each other. They're loud and they are a blast. So I love both of these teams here. I love Red Zone. Feel very close to Red Zone, but Easy Gaming I have I just love them. It's probably second to Boss. That's probably the next guild I love more than anything. They've just been really good people. And so
And
they've been
so
in
are
the
the
game.
brothers. So are the brothers in Red Zone too, right?
Yes, and it
Good
has
friends of yours too. I mean, you're really friends with everybody.
Luanek, and this has had to be said. That Easy Gaming is really keeping strong, as you can see in these. But they are slightly weakened by not having Kika Gold, by not having Luanek. Luanek had to go into the army in Russia, and so that's a little bit why you don't see as I give credit to Easy Gaming for
Yeah,
continuing.
Lonek is a very old player. I mean, I've been playing with him for years.
Yeah, and that's where you just I give a lot of credit to Easy Gaming for continuing to persevere and staying really strong, despite losing some of their key players in their core GVG set lineup. So and so this is game 4. This is the game we were talking about. We've been talking about for this almost this entire, or referencing. You have an ant right there. Go ahead. Why don't you give some of the play-by-plays here? For this one, this was early. You see a pendulum swing back and forth between Easy Gaming and Red Zone. You don't know who's going to win. This is again where I think Red Zone has more kills. Easy Gaming able to stay in it into the farm, but then Red Zone really starts to get the momentum going.
Here's the one where if he landed his ulti on him, he would have killed him 100%, but Mystic missed his ulti. Makes me sad because it literally was a 100% kill, so kind of a tough thing to watch there. All you had to do was just press your ultimate like you've done 1,000 times. And it's just little things like that that change the outcome of a tournament, really. Little things and big things, but I mean, trust me, if they had killed that Clint just then, this would have been a different game. Instead, they lose their bot laner too, Max 98 Russ, who ended up having an amazing game.
Yeah, 18 and 8 is Frost Cell. Again, we're seeing Frost Cells are the hard carries for the games, despite there being some decent mage on there. And this is sometimes where the numbers don't tell the whole story. But it does tell a little bit of the story in terms of, again, Garrick not able to execute the plan on the ant. And this is but this is the pendulum swing. I mean, if you're watching, if you kind of keep it, if you could kind of help guide us here, because you're seeing it 30 seconds ahead of me, where who's ahead? If we can kind of just keep track of the pendulum swing in this game.
Red Zone's ahead this game. It's 2-6. Red Zone's ahead.
All right, and this is where but you check out the gold though. I can't quite see the gold.
There's only a 2,000 gold lead. Easy Gaming has been keeping in the gold by farming. It's something that we keep seeing in all these games, Arya. Like, Red Zone will be winning by kills, but Easy Gaming is almost either even in gold, not losing in gold, or actually winning in gold, even though they're losing in kills, which is so crazy to me.
Yeah, definitely. It's and this, I mean, and Red Zone goes ahead and they do pull ahead here. And we don't have to watch it in real time. We can kind of watch it in double time.
It is in double time.
Okay. And it's,
as far as I know,
I think Red Zone wins this team fight here. They separate Easy Gaming. I can't commentate on the live because I'm watching it there. Obviously, by the time they hear my voice, it's going to be
yeah. Well, don't even worry about the play-by-plays. We did that this morning. Let's just focus on the kind of like the overall trends that we see. Like, it was at 1.5, now it's at 2.0. The wards coming up. I mean, wards were not a big thing throughout this tournament, really. I mean, wards were there, but
wards were a huge deal in the OP versus Rosemar series. Those were both heavily warding, and now Ant does not effectively. I mean, you could do such a great job of dewarding by throwing those ants down, and he doesn't. You just need to keep throwing those ants down, because that's actually what Ant partially got a buff on in this last update. Why we even see an ant right now. This was a nice play where the Frost Cell, the ant gets away there. That was a nice move by Garrick right there. But in general, you see them allow Easy Gaming allowing Red Zone to use their wards, where when you have an ant right there, you could be dewarding and just wasting their money. And crushing their vision. And that was what was just totally lacking. If you're going to have an ant, the whole point of ant is for that vision. And if you don't have that vision, if you're not, then ant's not doing their job. And the other thing is get your ulti off on the carries. And again, and in this way, just the frost cell. That's all you have to worry about is the frost cell, and not able to do it. Uh, just like in the previous game, where Balox and Ant were unable to shut down the frost cell. This game again, unable to shut down the frost cell, and
Mm.
so yeah, Red Zone starts to pull ahead here, and they really start to look like they're taking towers. They have so many towers, and then a huge, please make sure to point it out or slow it down, a huge team fight, and in just one game, an amazing shift in where, I mean, definitely, do you remember that team fight, Fit?
I'm
Where
looking
easy
for it.
gaming. Yeah, okay. I just want you to kind of, yeah, keep an eye out there for it, because that was amazing. Here, Red Zone was just doing their task. They were uh, doing what they do, and it looked like you can see they have easy gaming on against the ropes here, and it was just
It's
that. I mean,
awful for them, you can see, and it just does not feel good, probably, for that team. Being on the
and
ropes like that.
yeah, and they're slowly taking
Okay,
towers.
here's the team fight, Arya. Sorry.
Okay? And what are the towers at right now?
I don't
Just
mean to talk over you. What are
no,
the
go ahead.
towers at right now? I
Okay,
have
yeah.
no clue. I
Just
think it was at what you said the first time.
look
Was
up
it six
top.
to one or something? What did you say that first time when we commentated it
Yeah,
today? 6 to 1 or
it's
something?
it's right up at the top. If you move it down, I mean,
Oh,
right there next to the little tower
three to
button.
zero.
Okay, so no, not quite to this part yet. The big swing.
This is the part where I said I was like, Silencer should have gone in on that, and if he had, they actually would have killed that Airfern almost. If he had done a good job there, well, I mean, he did a good job, but if he did a better job, it is possible Silencer could have helped him. I mean, man, you can do that so many times throughout a tournament, though. It's something you should probably avoid doing as a caster, is isolating a single play and be like, well, he should have done this, and that changes the whole game. True, but, I mean, you can do that so many times that it's actually a waste of time to do that. It's better to talk about things like overall strategies being used and not used. Like, for example, we were talking about the warding being used in the Noir game versus these games. I mean, Easy Gaming and Red Zone are both top tier teams, but they're gonna have to do a little bit better job warding if they're gonna take on a team like Rose Noir, who likes warding. And I mean, I don't even see Red Zone buying that many wards at all.
I totally agree with you. They are going to have to up their warding game, their vision game,
Then again, they
because
were against an Ant Guard who kind of takes out wards, but still, I mean, even the games where they didn't use an Ant Guard, they didn't
that's
ward.
where you sometimes you get creative, maybe in your ward placement. Place that dragon buff right there in an unorthodox place, maybe right there next to the bush, next to the bridge, so
Uh
that you
huh.
can see them. So it's out of the vision of the ant, but you still get some vision. So if you do have an ant, maybe you just need to know. I mean, this is where experienced players know you need to do off placement wards and have kind of secondary spots where you're going to throw those wards, so you still have that vision. And
I can understand that. That makes a
and
lot of sense to me.
So for those of you guys just tuning in, this is the post-game wrap-up for the weekend of the semifinals of Heroes of Order and Chaos Winter Series 2016. This is Fit and myself, Arya. I see some people asking, can we play Dungeon Hunter 5 next? Nope, we are just doing the analysis here on this on the Heroes of Order and Chaos.
Great game though. Love that Dungeon Hunter 5. Lots of action and it's super awesome. Especially, I think it's made by Game Off too, right?
Yes, it
All
does.
right. Game Off makes that awesome game as well. They also make other games like Heroes of Order and Chaos that me and Arya care about. This team fight was pretty funny, but really not too much happened of it. They did take out the Frost Cell. And then this mid lane fight, you're thinking
Right.
it's going in Easy's direction. You think Easy is going to win this. And then just a little bit too much damage comes out, and they don't have the same kind of heals as Red Zone, and it's a different story. All of a sudden, you're offsides, and you're the one that's cut off. And, yeah, Red Zone kind of rolling over Easy right here. And
Yeah.
who takes this for a win, Arya?
There was a nice uh, Red Zone does. It
This is
was kind
game
of a
4?
surprise. Yes, this is game 4. This is where, I mean, again, yes, you're right. They're in the driver's seat. There was some nice plays though. If you saw by the Frost Cell played by Max right there, you see where he blinked out earlier. Now this is
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice play. I think I
here's a
even
nice
yelled about it.
push, but and they take go ahead with the play-by-play, because this is where it really gets interesting.
Well, this
A
is
little,
actually this what I'm coming up on right now. What I'm looking at is amazing because this is finally a part where as gaming they kill Saxophonistas Forge here, and then finally Ez's Frost Cell is able to let loose a little bit, and then they kill the Clint here. But that's actually the last ray of hope for the rest of our lives. We're gonna move on, kind of here, just a little bit down the road, and this is where the part where Arya takes over.
Well, I can't do. Again, it's
This is
impossible.
just the last push for red zone to the base, and also the last
But
team
it's
fight
not
that happens. It's only 15
really.
seconds. You should only
Are
see
they,
it 15 seconds
we
out.
should have seen the surge by Easy Gaming. That's what I was really wanting to kind of take
Oh,
it.
well, you're about to see the surge then over on the right-hand side of Guija, where
Yes,
I've been complaining that I felt like they were undisciplined.
by Easy Gaming. This is where the.
Yeah, just easy gaming's. I don't know. I feel like their engage should have
Can
been
you
more
do me a
disciplined.
favor? Can you move the iPad screen down just a little bit so I can see the score and the towers?
It's
Just a,
16 to 15, and the towers are 5 to 4.
okay, and
And I
not able
can I can move it down.
just a tad so people are able to kind of follow along or see. And watching right now, this is where Easy Gaming starts to really lay it on. And watch this team fight that I'm watching right now, where look at Roma. He does such an excellent job of blinking out, and they just roll right over red zone. That was a critical team fight right there. And this is where Easy Gaming completely flips the script and starts picking up momentum. And they just blow it away. I mean, they just roll. They completely were getting mowed over. But look at the lanes now. They're starting to push back, and they've pushed out the lanes, whereas before they were the ones being strangled. And so we did miss kind of that critical fight, but this is a part of this is part of the Easy Gaming push. Everybody was on their
I thought Easy
feet.
Gaming was gonna win.
Everybody did. They had the game. It was theirs to win. That was what was so just mind-blowing about this game, was they had the game. They had it within their reach, and they just had to close it out. They were dominating here in this stretch, and they just stalled. And I mean, it's definitely they just unable. They were a little almost too patient and enabled these tanks and healers to get. I mean, the Aerofern and the Helm Slagfist to get so thick and tanky that it just became way tougher for them to cut through. And that was a nice ult by Aerofern right there. And
Yeah, I
it's
loved that ult. He got all of them.
yes,
I love
but
seeing stuff like that. He just walks up to all of them, just ults them, doesn't even think about it.
and there
I love
there
Aerofern.
this is where it's really tough. There's something to be said for patience and biding your time, but there's also something to be said for seizing the moment. And because if you don't take advantage while your players have the advantage, if you wait too long, you're going to miss your opportunity. And that's what happened here. Easy Gaming missed their opportunity. They had a window right there to win, and they played a little bit too conservatively, and again enabled red zone to get thick and bulky. And no longer did Roma, he wasn't able to burst them down anymore and take them down, and it would just overwhelmed, and the pendulum went right back to red zone.
Well, I
So
mean, I know that feeling very well, Arya, and it gets tough during a tournament. The fact is that their shot calling got them this far, so it is some superior shot calling. Are there mistakes with it? Yeah, there were some. I mean, it only takes one mistake, okay? And their biggest one, Easy Gaming, was a fight that happened to the right of Guija. They had a couple really big mistakes, and it definitely cost them this game. So let's just take a look. It's 32 minutes in, 19 kills to 15. It's also 5 towers down to 4 towers. A lot of global map pressure that came from Easy Gaming got them back in this. I remember this fight right here we're watching with Max 98. Is that Max 98 Russ on the right-hand side? And victory is just literally right here. I mean, he's easily killing their Airfern. And then their support Grey Witch stumbles into Silencer, you're dead. And it just seems like Easy Gaming's got this. And then a couple minutes later, Easy Gaming finds out that they're not the ones taking Guija. Silencer made a kind of in the moment call when they were mid lane against Red Zone to not be aggressive and not fight Red Zone. He might regret that call forever because as soon as Easy Gaming backed off, that was when Guija's spawn time was up. And then all of a sudden you got Red Zone, free Guija, yay! And then Easy Gaming wants to do a team fight right into that. So we're going to take a look at that. Easy Gaming, you can see on the screen right now, is already recoiling from the fact that Red Zone just got Guija. Now Easy Gaming has to group up mid and push out their mid lane again. Well, let's take a look at how that happens.
And you're right. That's exactly what happens. They missed. They made a call. I don't know if he's going to be regretting it forever.
I would. I would be
Definitely.
like, no, I should have been aggressive in that moment.
Yes, but you just learn from those mistakes. You learn from those moments. Up until
It's
that
so
point,
hard.
yeah, it is. But Easy Gaming,
Here it
their
is.
patience had been there and biding their time had been working for them, and that's what enabled them to kind of come
Silencer just
back.
did not calculate Guija coming up right then. If he had even thought about it, they would have warded at least before they left. They didn't even drop a ward. I mean, that's
Right.
very.
It was a big miss.
It was in the moment, and then this is just the end of the line for Easy Gaming right here. This is what actually lost them the tournament, is this fight. Airfern's a little bit out of place. They go in on it. Grey Witch steps out. And then all of a sudden, you can see how Red Zone's all grouped up. Garrick does a nice Ant Guard ult, and then FaZe Master just ults right in, and Frostel and Clint kite them and are in the back. And they're fighting against Red Zone on an uphill battle.
And they focused the tank. I
And
mean,
I just,
gosh, yeah,
I mean, that's crazy because,
with
I
no
mean,
vision.
and not only that, but you talk about how Order won like every game. Well, I mean,
This was the exception right here, and it was
this is one exception, and I'm sure if we looked, we would find another. But yeah, not
not
all games. You said all games
no
won today
for
and yesterday were on Order side, but
for
actually
this
Chaos
weekend.
wins this. Chaos
Yeah,
is this is
was
this
the
weekend.
only exception. It was 8 out of 9 games the Order won, and this
Really?
is the only. Yeah, definitely, I'm positive on that. And so, and it was almost, again, it was like Easy Gaming. They almost, I mean, some people, and the viewers were saying they threw the game. They did not throw the game, guys. Again, this is, I mean, is easy for us. We're all backseat quarter, Monday morning quarterbacking here. It's easy to say they should have gone for it. In hindsight,
It's easy to
hindsight,
say that, but it's not easy to do that. And who are you to even say that? You're not the silencer. You're not the person taking a team to semifinals.
right.
Uh, you can say whatever you want, but until you're that person, that's it's totally different.
Right. It's really, these are these clutch. It's very hard. There's so many right decisions you make, and then you just get sometimes picked, called out on the
And
wrong decision.
this is definitely the second time I've seen the order base being destroyed in the tournament as well.
But at
So
this level of gameplay, it is late. I mean, you can see this is almost 50 minutes in. It was those critical, with no revival runes. It does, those calls do become more important.
that team fight
It
was crazy. I
yeah. I
mean,
mean,
that's just about. I mean, it's just oh man, it's so crazy how fast it happens,
yeah.
and you know,
That that was, I mean, it was like shocking. It was, I mean, in the moment it was just shocking. Here you thought, I mean, you saw Easy Gaming going for it. You thought that the
yeah,
series was going to go 5, and then they stall out, and then that horrible, team fight where they don't have vision, and it's low ground versus high ground. They are in the low ground,
which
and
is
then they
crazy. I
focus the
it's
tank.
weird. It's weird to see
Yeah,
that
and
that is why they lost one fight. And you know what else? Red Zone was already ahead in the series, and that gives you further proof to maybe why Red Zone is actually the team that was supposed to move on. Red Zone was supposed to win. Arya says, I just want to see the team that wins. Well, Red Zone did win, but I even furthermore say that since they were higher in the series, that this is just is and always has been the team that's supposed to win this part of the series and can actually be the only one to take victory from Rose Noir. If you even want to be able to give Rose Noir a problem, then not only do you have to be prepared, but you have to be versatile and chaotic. And it seems like Red Zone has all those things at their disposal. They even have multiple strategies going into any match. And really are thinking about a lot of what they're doing. I enjoy my commentary with you, Arya. I hope I get some of your time, hopefully,
absolutely.
down the road.
Thanks, guys, for the follows for Tyson, Heather, Owen, Swag, Ninky Plays, and Zelios. Thank you guys for following this Game Loft channel. Everybody else out there, make sure you follow this Game Loft channel. If you want to watch the finals next week, you're going to get the notification if you hit that follow button. And yes, but always a pleasure. I just want to say condolences there to Easy Gaming. Watching them, I'm still, my heart goes out to them.
I
But
just
you know
wanted
what
to see the best
is
team advance, and I thought that was easy gaming. My ego is just hurt because I thought I was right, and I think I'm always right. Turns out, Dan, Fit, that you're not, and easy gaming was not the game that was supposed to. I thought it was. I thought it was easy gaming. Okay, I was
yeah.
wrong.
But and that's where a lot of people aren't as familiar with Red Zone as they are with Easy Gaming. Easy Gaming is the known brand, been around forever. They're really well known, and not a lot of people knew what Red Zone was capable of doing. I think going into next week, what is interesting is Excel is who's the team captain,
Yeah.
leader of Red Zone. He is kind of a student of WIWO. He was in Rose Noir for a while, and has been carefully studying and paying attention. This is definite and is definitely, like I said, a student of the master, and has been studying Rose Noir and their methods from inside the guild and out for a while now,
Yep.
and has the
All
utmost
very old
respect.
players. All very old players. Excelantes is not the first guild he's run. It's a good guild. He ran another one. Red Zone, if you guys are familiar with iOS server, is not even remotely the same Red Zone. In fact, I think there's only a couple members that
It's just Excel.
were in both.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it is, I mean, again, condolences out to Easy Gaming, but they did have a shot at taking down Rose Noir in the Rose Nation tournament. So it is a little bit nice to see another guild have their shot at Rose Noir here in the finals coming up next Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I think it's like 1600 I'm sorry, yeah, 1600 GMT UTC time. So please, guys, definitely, you're going to want to see this. We're going to see what kind of bag of tricks Excel and Red Zone's going to come to bring to Rose Noir. They're going to have their shot at the champ.
Oh, I wonder who's gonna win. We'll see what happens. Is it gonna be the student of WIWO or WIWO himself? Who knows, guys? But I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I will be here next weekend, Arya. Thanks so much for coming by, Arya, and I'll see you next time.
All right, bye-bye. See you guys. Thanks so much for watching.